At 6, want to take a live look at Capitol Hill, where House lawmakers voted to advance the debt limit bill, and this clears the way for a final vote on the bill later tonight. South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman, part of that hurdle for the bill in the House Rules Committee.
Our chief political correspondent Emma Withrow sat down with him today. Emma.
And Emma, Representative Norman raised the debt ceiling with little resistance during the Trump administration. Why is he so vehemently opposed to this debt ceiling legislation?
Well, Brian, to put it simply, Norman says this bill is fiscally irresponsible and doesn't come close to addressing conservatives' main concerns. But even though Norman says he's frustrated with the bill and with Speaker Kevin McCarthy, he doesn't go as far as wanting to kick McCarthy out of his leadership role. Congressman Dan Bishop, on the other hand, though, definitely does.
Let's call their bluff on it. The best deal is no deal.
South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman is one of the conservative Republicans in the House Freedom Caucus. The majority of them are opposed to the debt ceiling deal that was reached, and Norman was one of the loudest voices in opposition. Norman's on the House Rules Committee and came close to halting the bill altogether today, but it narrowly passed by just one vote.
I went to the chairman, Cole, who I like. I said, I just disagree with this. And the implication was if one more vote, we would have stopped it in Rules Committee. It wouldn't even come to the floor. We wouldn't be having this vote. Now, the repercussions of that would be, people would be frantic because they bought into the narrative that we're going to default.
Some of these frustrations from Freedom Caucus members could translate into new Republican leadership in the House. Representative Dan Bishop recently said he wanted to oust McCarthy from his position as Speaker, but Representative Ralph Norman told me he isn't quite there yet. He's more so just frustrated with the deal McCarthy came up with.
I wouldn't move to vacate him now because I don't think the support's there. Quite frankly, he did a good job of even though I don't agree with him, he did a good job of explaining his position on why he gave away what he gave away. And I just don't agree with it.
Bishop, on the other hand, thinks that since McCarthy went back on concessions he made to Freedom Caucus members in January, he doesn't deserve to continue on as Speaker.
It seems inescapable to me that there has to be a motion to vacate the chair. I wouldn't do that single-handedly. We haven't had extensive discussions about that, but it's hard to figure out how we otherwise go forward and reestablish the Republican unity that the Speaker has mistakenly decided to dispense with.
Bishop feels betrayed by McCarthy, especially since Republicans were able to agree to a debt limit increase back in April that received 218 votes.
Instead, Kevin decided to negotiate with the Biden administration, and we knew the negotiations were going on, but we were not told that he was going to make cardinal changes to the deal that we did agree to in so many respects, and then sort of make it worse by coming out and selling the bill as containing a lot of benefits that it absolutely does not contain.
So the House is going to cast the final vote later this evening after the debate, and then the procedural vote, though, that happened earlier this afternoon pretty much made it clear that this bill is expected to pass in the House.
All right, yeah, high drama on Capitol Hill. Emma, thank you.